Hey, hello everybody. Super good morning, everyone. Anybody of you misses me? Been disappeared for like a good almost half a month. How's everyone doing? It's Kevin Chan here, 7:30 in the morning today, and we're gonna going back into continuing our session. We're gonna go back and take a look at date selection today. So today's sharing is gonna be about date selection, and we are at the juncture of looking at the full day, right? So in the date selection series. So how is everyone doing? Right, so as usual, I can see that Pekpui is around in our chat group there. Good morning to all of you who have just joined, right? So little update of what has happened. So I've took a considered family holiday a little bit. Then after that, I went on leading an excursion over to Penang and also Thailand, right? So that was super fun. We have that done already. So probably later, when I got time, I will rearrange some of the nice photo and give a bit of an explanation on the excursion on my newsletter, right? So then after that is that I got a huge project in Cambodia. Yes, more all the country Cambodia, right? So just fly back from Cambodia yesterday night, right? So right? So right now I probably have about a few weeks of a bit of a free time before jumping back in to handle some of the project that has been lined up for myself. Right? So it's exciting. It's an exciting year, right? So it's an exciting year, at least for me on my side. A lot of new achievement, right? So at least the excursion was a super new achievement for me. Didn't know it was so difficult to actually arrange the what we call the excursion, right? So I can see Saul just join in, Jeannie just join in. Good morning to all of you. Right, so come, let's go back and take a look at the 12-day officer. Shrink myself down to the smaller version. Right. So as usual, right? So now getting in touch with me, Telegram is a very, very good venue for you to get in touch with me. Right. So now you got any question you want to ask, if there's stuff to download, I usually throw it into the Telegram. And of course, there's the monthly newsletter, which is concentrated on the forecast, right? So forecast, I'll write the forecast first, and then I'll publish it into the monthly newsletter. So newsletter means that they will email to you. Right, so any of the excursion experience that I go to sometime, I went out and take a look at places. I write about the places. It will be inside the forecast in focus in the excursion as well. Right. So and also the what we call newsletter actually got a small section for the paid subscriber, which has additional information like 60 pillar. There's information on house selection. Yes, there's a feng shui house selection session inside. Right? So it's a series of article to teach you how to select your own feng shui house. Right? So it's all inside for the paid subscriber. Then of course there's the community channel, which is Facebook, right? So it's a community channel. You can come in, talk to like-minded people, about the Chinese metaphysics. You got question that you want to ask academically. This is where you throw all your questions. So we will all come together and assist you in terms of unraveling those. Right. So and some question I actually convert to topics. So if you ask some question is worth making it into a topic, I'll make it into a topic, for you all, so that you all can consume and digest. All right. So Kelvin just joined in, right? So morning, Kelvin. How you doing? Right. Come, let's go into take a look, right? So we're on a journey looking at 12-day officer. So we have done two, right? So we've done two of it. We've done established day, we've done removed day. Right. So now in terms of again the storyline, this is like a migrating population going to a new place, right? So whereby they establish where they want to put it in, and then they try to remove the local obstruction. Right. So now it's inside the third the what we call the third phase, right? So the third phase, whether the menu work or not first. Menu work, yes, good. Menu is basically working. So we are at the full day, right? So now if you look at the word full, man, man means full, right? So learn some Chinese as well. Man, it's not read as man, please, those of you reading it in English, this word is not read as man, it's read as man, man. Okay, man is a Mandarin word, by the way. So in Cantonese, it's pronounced as moon, M-U-N, right? Cantonese is moon. Mandarin is man, right? So yeah, it's a bit pronunciation is a bit different, right? So it's full days. Now, what has the story progress become, right? So now you follow the story, right? You establish, which means that you want to do something in this piece of land. You try to put your flag there. Then you try to clear off the land, which is the remove day. Right now that you have tried to clear off the land, you basically touch the land. You're basically stepping on tails on the locals, right? Now you know the full brunt of the problem of the land. Okay, yes, everything that is inside the land that got problem right now. Now, when we talk about problem, is that whether the land is currently suitable for plantation, right? So because before you remove or before you clear the land, you actually doesn't know. Maybe it's like construction, right? So you see that now build something here, and then suddenly when you clear the land, you found out that there is this huge boulder that which is obstructing your construction, right? So the full day is actually the day whereby you realize the full brunt of whatever that you're supposed to be facing, right? Whether good or bad, whether good or bad, right? So the situation with being full is that is uncontrollable. It's like the idea of the plate being a bit full. Everything is basically piles in, right? So the good part of it is that you get to see the full extent of what is required for you to basically be successful in this particular piece of land. So of course, it depends on how you look at certain situations. Some people, it's like I don't know lah. Some people want certain thing, but when it comes out and tells you that you're required to do all this stuff, they don't know, complain or throw tantrum, whichever they want to call it. Hey boy, come. It's boy boy. Yeah, it's boy boy. Oh, miss boy boy so much. Right, so long didn't see boy boy. Oh. Okay. Nah. What does everyone supposed to do?
Oh, they should subscribe to Daddy.
Yeah, she subscribe to Daddy. Okay, go
Daddy
back.
doesn't want me to learn how to use YouTube.
Later when you are older, Daddy will teach you. Okay, not right now. Right now you are too small to do this stuff. Hello, Cindy. Good morning. Cute little boy, right? So yes, full day is basically the day that you find out, what is in store for you, right? So again, depending, but it's really unfortunate that I've seen so many people who say that I want to do this, but when they find out that there is so many things that you need to do, right? So like for example, just lead an excursion, right? So first of all, I went for a holiday with somebody else bring me to an excursion. The holiday was planned by my daughter and my brother's son, right? So the two youngster in the family actually did all the planning for the Redang trip, lah, right? So yeah, so I have to encourage them, right? So they crash landed a few things, but never mind, it's like they completely misinform us on the date that we're supposed to travel. Right, so that got into a bit of a jam, right? So because what happened is that the moment I come back from the what we call holiday, I need to already jump into doing the excursion. Right, so let's take a look. All right, so just a small example is that we want to do an excursion. It's like bringing people for holiday only ma. It should be pretty easy, right? So there's hotel booking, there's hotel expectation, there's food booking, there's food expectation. So is they're talking like food, right? So some people were very happy with this food, some people was not, and then there's some people say that there's not enough food, some people say that there was too much. So how? Right, but it's upon when you are doing all of these things that time, then only you start to find out that there's so many of these sort of small stuff that is happening around behind the scene, right? So now question, able to handle or not? Able to handle. So this is the gist of a full day. The gist of the full day is just that you are being presented with whatever you want to say good, whatever bad on the situation, everything is basically on the plate lor. Right now that you have taken some action, right? So now you have taken some action on it. You try to clear the land and remove them, right? So now what I say is that all the opposing factor or the positive factor is all surfacing right now, and you have a full view or full brunt of whatever that is happening in front of your house, the road ahead is going to be, you start to see, right? So now this is the time whereby probably a lot of people will start giving up already. Ta-da! Right, so you're going to gym also is the same, so it's like, I've decided that I'll go to gym, and then then what we call one day you went and gym, you do the fuel pump. Then what happened the next day is all your body muscle is aching, that is the full day. You start to see that how unfit you are, right? So same thing also, we were having a bit of a it's called walking a dragon, right? The excursion, right? So I actually bring people and experience how ancient feng shui master would have experienced, really walking the mountain, right? So we went for a mountain hike, a fairly high mountain hike, right? So a lot of people, everybody made it up there safe, right? So when they made up there already, then only they start to tell themselves it wasn't that bad. But when it was halfway or quarter way, a lot of them was like, screaming, it's like how long more to go. Right? It's those type of situation, right? So it's those type of situation whereby now only you start to see your own limitation. Now you start to see that the extent of the requirement from you, resources that you actually need to plan in, whether you plan in, you don't plan in, whether you don't have a situation whereby you have to handle. All of this is basically under the guises of food. Right, so now once you know the definition or the shape of the full day right now you need to take a look at what circumstance does this day give you an advantage. At what circumstance does this day give you a disadvantage? The day itself is neutral, right? The day itself is neutral, but if you see that, how come this one is classified as being, a negative level? So it's because it is more geared towards discovery of problem. Once you discover already, the problem seems to be very big. It's full day, lah, right? So no, it's basically that, right? So if you take a look at it, it's basically the idea of things is at its maximum. Play is full, right? Whatever that is basically at max right now, everything is at max. So you understand, right? When things reaches the maximum, it spills, it overflows, it explodes. Right? So that's why the definition of a full day usually is not really that good. Because what happens is that a lot of time we tell you are over capacitized yourself. You're at your limit of your capacity, right? So when we're talking about full day, but there are certain situations whereby you want to be at the limit of your capacity. Right, so like for example, what are the situation? You take a look at it, maybe you want to add the limit, right? So if it's your official opening, so if you're doing launching, so if you're event, you're doing launching, if you're those type of company who do event, who does launching, all this, full day is a good day, by the way, right? You're doing event, you're doing launching, your business opening, housewarming, and all this, right? So installing new equipment, right? So it's this campaign launch, you want to purposely do it on a full day. These are good. Because why? You want your space to be fully utilized, ma. It's best if everybody was stuck outside, cannot get in. Right? Concert day, concert day. Right? So these sort of days whereby you really want everybody to stuff themselves in, right? So it's a good, right? It's good to use this particular day, full day, right? So like for example, you're gonna do a bit of a launching of a new business, cutting ribbon ceremony. Right, cutting ribbon ceremony is good, right? So you have this particular things which is called the full day. You can use this, right? So now you can start to think of what are the scenario that I'm in. Does my scenario take advantage of things being full, or does my scenario become disadvantaged when things are being full? So these are stuff that you need to start to think about when you are applying this 12-day officer, when you are selecting a day, right? Because this particular day is in favor of filling everything up to the brink of whatever hell it is, until it is spill over. So you need to have a bit of a imaginative, right? So like avoid, what you're gonna avoid is things that is basically gonna be civil, right? So like legal settlement, right? So legal settlement full day mean that you got even more problem coming in. Even more problem coming in, lawsuit, it's not very good. Starting a new job cannot use full day, because why? All the work will go to you all at that particular instant. Confirm cannot handle, because when you start a new job, right, there is a learning curve, right? So when you are at the bottom of the learning curve, which means that you're not that well versed of the situation. Okay, right? So anything that require a honeymoon period. Honeymoon period means that there's a learning curve. Basically, the learning curve is gearing on a new thing. Then you don't want, like for example, full day. you go on a study, is it good? Actually, not too good. Right? Full day you go on a study means that you cannot learn anything new. Everything is coming in, so which means that you're going to be overwhelmed with information. Overwhelmed with information. Right? So, but if actually you are a publishing house, then full day is good. Right? Publishing house means that you'll be able to overwhelm people with information. So information overload. That is basically quite good. Now, full day in computer, that would be the DDoS lah, right? So no, DDoS is the information attack, right? So information attack that happen on the computer that prevent the computer from doing proper calculation, right? So that is basically what the full day is, right? So that's why a lot of time when you're applying this, you need to think of circumstance whether okay, this circumstance does it take advantage of things being on the brink of things, or does it become disadvantage in this particular situation, right? So that's basically what full day is, right? So can you see the application of the 12-day officer is actually pretty straightforward. So you are at the juncture right now. First you put down a flag saying that I would want to develop this piece of land. We would want to make this piece of land as our base of operation. Then the next thing is that you try to remove some of the obstacle, clear the grass or whatever it is. Then ta-da, you found out that there's actually a family of snake there, poisonous. This is full day. And not only there's a poisonous snake, there's a tiger clan over at the very this side. There's some big boulder there, right? So then there's some quicksand over at the other side. These are called food air. You start to find out that all these particular problem doesn't mean that you're handling it. By the way, even if you know all the problem, it is actually a prompt for you to start to plan on how to clear the problem. So when the what we call the 12-day officer progress, you will start to see that it is a progression of how an individual go in and what we call solve the problem. Like for example, if we jump to the balance day, if we take a look at that balance day, mean that you start to do sorting. Do sorting lah, right? So because right now you already know where all the problem is so right now is to do what we call resource allocation. So it's balance day, right? So it's that sort of what we call hierarchical change of situation that tells you what to do. So there is no fast and there's no fast rule on actually applying this. It's really the important part is that you understand which stage of the execution you are in, and once you know which stage of the execution you are in, you understand what energy pattern do you need to support that particular stage, and you select specifically that energy point, and everything becomes smooth. Feng Shui is the same, Bazi is the same, Qi is the same, date selection is the same. Right? In Feng Shui also is the same thing. We are just using the sector whereby the energy signature is most suited for the activity that you're currently attempting to perform. In Bazi, we are trying to find out in what circumstance does your Bazi function in the most natural, advantageous way, right? So in Qi, we want to take a look at this current moment, the topographical situations favor what sort of activity over another type of activity. So we are actually doing the exact same thing on any of the metaphysics application. We are just understanding this energy suitable for what sort of activity. And if you are performing the activity that's suitable for the energy, then champion, right? Everything is good, right? So the problem is that you try to force the energy to do something that the energy is not designed to do, right? So this is where problem usually come in, and people expectation are not met, right? Because first of all, it's not supposed to do that, and then you want to force it to do that, then it doesn't work because the universe don't care about you. Hello, Kissing. Hello, Manuel. Right. So now this is my sharing for the 12-day officer. It's a pretty easy topic. Right. So 12-day officer is actually pretty easy topic. One day can finish. Right. So if you attend class, 12-day officer, probably is a half a day topic. Right. So unless somebody go and expand the story into super big story, then there is a different. Right. So yeah. Right, so now hopefully you guys can use the full day, right? So you can use the full day, for whatever activity that you have that required the place to be packed full of people, right? So great expectation, all this kind of activity. Alright, guys. Right, so now that's it. Now today, got an additional activity. Need to go and find new school for my son. Alright, guys. That's it. See you guys again. Bye.